And you're listening to BDE, Big Darien Energy. Big Darien Energy.
I've had to record this 3 times. The last time was fine, but Marie was going fucking psycho because, of course, cats are basically nocturnal and she fucking wants to be running around, and Missy was going crazy. So this is probably not the episode you thought this was going to be. And it's also not the day. It's not Thursday. I'm switching the days, number one, because everybody was listening on, like, I don't know, whatever. So I'm switching the days. And how we got here. This is clearly not the episode with Diego Luna where we talk about his WWE. And I'm just calling it WWE because I don't know what it was called. And you guys understand what WWE is. So, how we got here. Wednesday. I have to start before that. So the last episode, I mentioned that I wanted to have a Border Patrol on the pod. I just wanted to talk about their branch, whatever. And I'm not going to give it away, but I just wanted to talk about the humanity side of the Border Patrol. So I reached out to my community, San Diego, where I grew up, to see if anybody had any leads or if anybody, a Border Patrol, wanted to come on the pod themselves. So I reached out to the community. I took screenshots of everything because due to the trauma in my life, I just fucking take screenshots of everything apparently. Because I don't want anything to bite me in the ass or say like, oh, you said this or you did that. Really, let's look at the screenshots. So just FYI, I have screenshots of everything. Ever. So Wednesday, I went on Reddit and I went into the San Diegan forum. This was what I said, and people really started coming for my necks. This one girl in particular, and it was a girl because obviously I went to her profile and then I saw her, like her company or like her, I don't know if it's her company or whatever. She really started coming for my neck. She called me some like horrible name that I was like, I don't even know I don't even know what that is. And then she came for me because I didn't know what that was, which like, if somebody doesn't know what something is, why would you belittle them and make them feel stupid for not knowing? Like, I would never do that to somebody. I would never say like, how do you not know what that is? And then she was like that, and then she called me girly pop, and I was like, the fuck? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with people? And then she's like, you don't know what that is? That's not a good look, girly pop. And I was like, first of all, don't call me girly pop. Second of all, you don't even know me. That's literally what I said. And the last thing she said, I really feel like the universe was testing me because I didn't act out a character. I didn't call her any names. I didn't call anybody any names. I literally just did not engage. If anything, I disengaged. The last thing I said was like, I'm deleting this thread. Clearly, like, it's not even worth it. And I was like, and I posted and I was like, y'all get bent out of shape about the dumbest things. People like downvoted my things, which like obviously if you're on Reddit, like that fucks up your karma. Not that like I care, but it's just like, obviously people don't know. If you can't say something nice, shut the fuck up. Whatever. So hence why this episode is dropping, because I've had this episode with Laura in my back pocket. I didn't know if I was ever going to drop it, but now the time seems appropriate. The last thing that this girl said, because I'm not going to call anybody out with her name, you know what I mean? Because we're growing. So I had to write it down because like I can't go to the screenshots here. She said, the last thing she said, and I was like, whatever, I'm deleting this. She said, she must have like gone on the pod or like my YouTuber, like, I don't know, whatever. Cause I don't post this shit on Instagram. I don't say like, oh, I'm neurodivergent on Instagram, whatever. So the last thing she was like, you claim to be neurodivergent. Well, she's like ADHD. She's like, you claim to be ADHD. She's like, you're not safe either. She's like, why would you want to support people she was like, why would you want to support people who are arresting immigrants? She's like, you have white privilege. I'm like, okay, whatever. Calm your tits, girl. Calm your tits. Obviously, you need therapy and you have anger issues. So, to just be coming for somebody like that on the internet, who like, I told her, I was like, you don't even know me. Little does she know, I have a mezuzah on my door. So, get out of here with this bullshit. So, long story short, that just made me want to do what I want to do even more. Hence this episode, because that girl doesn't even fucking know me, even know what the hell I wanted to talk about with a Border Patrol. So I guess y'all will find out, because I did have a Border Patrol reach out to me and on the thread who was like, hey, I'm down to do it, but like, I'm not going to do video. And I was like, cool, no video. And then after all this shit happened, I messaged him and I was like, forget it. I was like, don't even worry about it. I'll find somebody on my own. and he made me feel better. I don't even know if it's a he or she, but oh, did you see that? I don't even know if it's a he or she, but I just told him, I was like, obvious, like people in the thread were really mean, and he like made me feel better, like made me laugh. He's like, it doesn't matter because I'm not gonna put that person on blast. I don't even know who they are, but if you're them, thank you, because after that, I don't know, I'm a little sensitive girl, but I have to toughen up, which like that's just my life. And obviously, as much as I talk about not liking San Diego, I'm so grateful and I'm very proud that I grew up here. I'm very proud that I grew up in the South Bay. I'm very proud that I grew up in IB. I'm like literally wearing everything Surf Hut right now. So shout out Surf Hut. My hat Surf Hut and my sweater Surf Hut. That didn't happen on purpose, but I just wanted to wear a snapback and I was already wearing this when I came home. Shout out Surf Hut. You raised me. IB raised me. But like that's the problem here. Is like people just have fucking attitude for no reason. Like I just don't get it. And I love San Diego. Like I said, I just don't fit in here. I just don't fit in. It is what it is. I really hope you like this episode. Laura came on and just shared her experience because she does live in TJ and she commutes to America for work almost on a daily basis. I just wanted her to share her story and just touch on the humanity side, which is also what I wanted to do with the Border Patrol. I grew up literally, I could probably throw a rock and Mexico would be right there. I didn't know that Border Patrol wasn't in all of America until I moved to Florida in freshman year. I was like, where the fuck are the Border Patrol? And my mom was like, they're only near borders. And I was like, no idea. I grew up with the Border Patrol. Thank you, Laura, to this episode. I really enjoyed this episode. And I'm glad that everything happened for a reason. And I'm glad you guys are hearing it because, to be completely honest, I have had this episode for a couple months since last year. I mean, not that we're that far deep into 2026, but I'm going to have a Border Patrol on because when you tell me not to do something or you don't want me to do something, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I want to do. So, and I think it's important to share these types of things because not everybody wants to talk about this. I feel like not everybody has the I don't care if you guys talk shit. I don't care if people don't like it because this is the truth. This is just what's going on. And I volunteer as tribute. Like I've said multiple times on this podcast, I fucking volunteer as tribute. So I'm going to have a Border Patrol on one shape or form. I'm going to have a Border Patrol on in some way, shape, or form before I leave this city. With further ado, thank you, Laura. Yeah, also, this episode was basically the first Car Conversations episode. It's not video because Laura, I don't even think I was doing video. Was I doing video at this time? I don't remember. But we just didn't do video. I don't know. Anyways, it doesn't matter. This was literally the first Car Conversations episode because we did do it in my car. We just didn't do video. So now, without further ado, welcome Laura. Okay, here we go. Hi, I'm here with Laura. This is our second time recording because apparently the first time I was not recording like a doofus. The first time was amazing per Laura. We're going to try to do it again. For background, I grew up in San Diego in the South Bay, Imperial Beach, with immigrants all around me. I was a minority here in San Diego. I was probably one of maybe 2 white people in the class. I grew up in a melting pot. I'm so grateful. And what's going on in society is really bothering me. And I wanted to talk to somebody who commutes from Mexico.
It's difficult. It's not super easy. It's a hassle. It takes time from your family. It takes time from your day. It takes a mental strain sometimes because of the traffic, because of the situation in the borders whenever either the Mexican government or the U.S. government have any sort of new political views. Everybody that's commuting suffers that. So either with closing the border, either with more security, either with more ways of making it difficult for your entry, or coming back into Mexico or coming back in the States is if some government is, you know, in the stand and they're just trying to make point, everybody that commutes through the border suffers. Even though I've done it for 20 more years, I love it. I love living in Mexico. I went to college in Mexico. I got my first job here 18 years ago. I love what I do. I love working here. I love the advantage I can get of working here and living in Mexico. I get more out of my money, obviously. I have a better opportunity of giving a better quality of life to my kids. As me and my siblings, I also want my kids to have as their first language Spanish and learn their culture and their history. I think that makes them educated to know that it's not, that we're not this society that, or this awful, you know.
That you guys are immigrants.
Yeah.
Like, you're not.
Exactly. So if you are educated enough to know that Mexico has this 10 minutes at max, you know, crossing the border. Since when you stepped into the San Isidro, San Mesa border until, you know, you get into a point of where the customs are, it was so fast. You know, through the years, it's becoming more difficult and lengthier. And now, you guys, since a couple of years ago to now, it can take you up to 40 minutes, an hour, hour and 30. It just depends on, you know, the type of day, the time of the day. It's just been more difficult.
And what is the energy when you're crossing the border? Now
it's so, I think everybody has this, like, hostility feeling of, you know, it's just like everybody's scared. Everybody is
on edge,
and everybody is getting what they're trying to project, which is fear. So it's a sense of fear for a lot of people that actually come across the border, and they do it legally. They're not doing it illegally. They're doing it legally, but it's still a big fear of everybody. And it's just a sense of, you know, caution, a sense of this just somber feeling that I don't know how to describe it, but you can just feel it.
And you said you've seen like some incidents like happen, like hostility wise.
Yes, of course. And I've experienced also that through the years. I've had some, you know, racist comments, you know, coming across, and I've had some experiences with people, you know, just trying to make me feel bad for where I come from or where I am. And it's just unfortunate for them. I don't have that in me. So I'm very proud of where I come from. I'm very proud that my mom or my grandma are Mexican natives, and it's just beautiful. I think Mexico has such a beautiful country, such beautiful, rich culture, and
it does.
And customs and traditions and sense of family that I think only few societies in the world have that, and I'm very proud of saying that.
And a lot of American culture is taken from Mexican culture.
A lot of food is eating here that it's just delicious, and I think it makes America richer, that everybody is just coming from all of these different places and giving what makes, you know.
That's what America was built on, immigration. And that's what I think people forget, is that, to be honest, the Mexican culture, you guys are indigenous to California, Southern California, definitely. And we are the immigrants. And I think people forget that because, I don't know, we said before, but like, we're all humans. We all bleed the same. We all have hair on our head, you know what I mean? And that's what I wanted to talk to you about, is because I think with the propaganda going on in today's society, it makes the people in Mexico who come here to work, to make a living, to be in society, it paints them in such a bad light, and not the humanity side, who the people like you.
And they're actually contributing something to society. They're actually, most of those people do actually just want to come and make, you know, America. They want to invest in our something. Country. Yeah, they want to do something good for them and for the country. So why? Because they're working, they're contributing, they're, you know, having here and there a nice gesture, that's also contributing. That's what makes, a society richer.
So why do people come here? Like,
I think they obviously try to have a better quality of life. I think, America does offer this big American dream where you can actually, make a career out of something and have opportunities that probably in other countries you wouldn't have. And
do you have better opportunities here than in Mexico?
Yes, I think so. I mean, it also depends. My father is a doctor and he did very well all of his life in Mexico. My brother is a lawyer and does very, very good by himself. So I also think that it depends on what the individual you want to make of what you're given. That also depends. But of course, you have much better opportunities that are given to you, and job opportunities, and it's just a little bit better than what it would be in Mexico. I guess we can say that it's that now we have a bigger security oriented politic right now that tries to secure the borders, and you can see it and you can feel it, and everybody that's there knows the difference between what was 10 years ago until today. You don't have to be affiliated to any party and you can see the difference. It's just more hostile. I think it's just more, you can make it out.
So you are an American citizen and you live there. I just don't understand why people are, I mean, maybe this is just something that I will never understand because I grew up here. So this is literally what I was immersed in. This is my culture. Like, to be honest, your Mexican culture is my culture, and I am Filipino, so like we have a lot of similarities. But that is something that I just don't understand, is why people hate immigration and immigrants so much when America was built on immigrants and immigration themselves.
Because I think we discussed it on the previous recording, and it has to do with education, and we need to be educated on that.
Where does that start? Like, I feel like it starts at home.
It starts at home. It starts
or in the schools.
In schools as well, but you need to know, you need to be educated that being diverse is not bad. Being diverse and having a diverse culture it enriches your culture and enriches America to have all of these diverse, not only Mexicans, but everywhere. It just brings good things to, of course, you're going to have one or two bad things as always, but you're also going to have so many good things, and that's going to make your country bigger.
And you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Knowing all of this is going to enrich your life, the life of everybody that's here, because we can actually say that even though we don't have the same color of skin or whatever, we all live here. We all want to be healthy. We all want to go back to our families, our dogs, or whatever. It's just it's just the same, having an opportunity. And I think if America can do that for people, it should be like empowering, enriching.
And that's what I don't understand. I just feel like people have lost this understanding of humanity and what it's like to be a human. I feel like everybody has this superiority complex where I'm the best, I'm bigger, I'm this, I'm that. There's no we, there's no us. There's no we can do this or we're going to do this. And that's what makes me upset. And I mean, we talked about this when I wasn't recording, but how ICE is, and they're taking people in who are here making a living, who are picking our vegetables, picking our fruits, helping in our schools, you know what I mean? Like, doing all these things. And I just feel like it's gotten to a point where it's just not nice. And I just feel like you have people who are condoning it and people in power.
And I think we were saying that we can probably agree that a lot, or the majority of all of those people already had a long life in the States. A lot of people already had family here, had children here, had houses here, had jobs, most of them did. Some didn't, but most of them did. And whoever did, just give them an opportunity to keep contributing to your country. And
they pay taxes. Like, that's what makes me mad. They're paying their taxes. Like, a lot of Americans don't pay their taxes. That's what makes me upset. It's like, people who live in glass houses should not throw stones. And that's what makes me mad and that's how I feel is, to be completely honest, I'm going to talk about race, but I feel like if you're white, you need to stop talking, because you are an immigrant to America. If you are Caucasian, you are an immigrant of America, especially in San Diego. San Diego was part of Mexico. Let's go back to history, and that's what infuriates me, is because this was not our land. If you want to go back to what's mine is mine, then this land was not ours. And if we're gonna take something from somebody, I think we should give it with a giving hand. Yeah. And hold hands at the same time. And it just makes me really upset. How are people in Mexico dealing with coming here?
I think that now it feels more, like I said, a little more hostile, and I think fear. You can say that a lot of, tactics are being used to,
intimidation.
Yeah, intimidation, and they have this sense of fear in general, and even if they're doing it legally, they still have this sense of fear, like if they're doing something incorrectly. So it's just something that it's not going to be, they have it already in their heads, and for some reason we've always been looked down upon. So if they try to make this sense of fear and hostile and something going on, you just embed it in you, and it's, I think a lot of people that commute and come back and forth through Mexico and the States, they have that in their head right now. It's just like, be careful and fearful, and just what's going to happen even if you're
doing it legally.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I just feel like it's such an intimidation tactic, because even if you're not doing anything wrong, you're still scared.
Yeah.
It's just like if I get pulled over by a cop here in America, even if I'm not doing anything wrong, I'm still terrified. Yeah. And that's scary. Going back to crossing the border, so there's a sentry. So how, explain that? So
it's a border program that it's implemented all through across the United States borders, and it's a paid U.S. program.
It's not just our border?
No.
So the Mexico border, like in Arizona or Texas?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So they have Sentry, here's Sentry, Canada has Sentry.
Oh, that's my next question.
Yeah. And it's all across the borders, and it's a paid program where it's basically you get pre-screened of everything. They have all of your information, everything. Yeah. It's like kind of that program. It goes, you get verified I think it's every 5 years, and you need to present employment, living, anything situation to them. They pre-screen almost your blood type. Like you give them everything.
Come here. And so and that's another thing too, is like, that's legal what they're doing. Yeah. And you're paying money to do that. And they check everything.
So that only gives you like a fast pass program. So
so going back, you said that people are still scared to do that.
Oh yeah, of course. Of course. Like even I think I'm a good citizen. I don't even have a traffic ticket in my record, and I still get intimidated now. Like, what if they say something? Like, I'm not doing anything wrong, I know, but you still get this sense of
you're doing something wrong. Yeah.
So you're always cautious, or more cautious now than ever before.
Do you think now you're scared to shed light on your culture, like scared to speak Spanish when you go out? Or
I personally don't. I feel very, very proud of who I am and what my culture stands for. I think it's a very, very beautiful culture. Like I said before, it's just, I'm so proud of it. I would speak Spanish because it's a beautiful language. I think it has a better opportunity, and everybody, if you speak more than one language. Right. I have, the fortune of speaking Spanish and English. I would love to know more languages, but for now, that's all I know. The only reason I would not speak Spanish is because my mom always kind of made it a point that speaking Spanish is an advantage, and not make it like something rude. And somebody, you can read the room and say you can speak Spanish and nobody would care, and probably you're speaking Spanish and somebody's taking it like into an offense, not because I'm offended of speaking Spanish. It's just like probably they would say, oh, they're saying something
about
bad
you, yeah.
about me.
Chisme.
So that would be the only way I would feel like double thinking, why am I speaking or not speaking Spanish? But because I speak Spanish, it's good for me. I know a language and you don't.
Yeah.
So,
and somebody like me, who I grew up in the South Bay, like NIB, I feel horrible when I don't speak Spanish. I feel like I'm doing something wrong because I don't speak Spanish, like, especially here.
Yeah.
So I know, like, little things, and when I do speak, my accent, like, they think I speak Spanish. So then they start, like, talking really fast. I'm like, oh, no.
It just gives you a better opportunity, even if it was not Spanish, even if it was, French or whatever. It's just you're speaking another language. Aren't you aware that that's like something
beautiful, and it educates you, and also it helps me because I'm on Duolingo, and like I live by myself. I don't have anybody to practice Spanish with. Like when I would be in the office, I would have like people only speak Spanish to me, but it helps even when I'm out in society or like at Costco or doing whatever, and I hear people speaking Spanish. I try and understand like little bits and pieces
of what
just for myself, and like you were saying, it does give you one up. It gives you an advantage in life. And I wish people understood more that it's not a superiority thing. It's let's get better thing. Yeah. Let's make each other better. Let's help each other from a humanitarian standpoint. And I think that's what society has forgotten, that we all are a human. Yeah. We're all human. And we're all just trying to be better and make a living. And of course, you have bad apples.
Exactly.
That's just with any demographic. It doesn't matter what color you are. Exactly. There are bad apples everywhere in society. And it's just how you make of it, and that's what really bothers me with today's society. Is I feel like when you have somebody in power saying bad things but making it okay, other people in society think that it's okay to also do those same things and say those same things, and that's what bothers me.
Yeah, because you're losing sense of humanity, of being, this kindness around everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
You're losing kindness on just being able to say all of those rude things to everybody just because you can, and it's not.
And it's not even a sensitivity thing. I hear when people are like, "Oh, stop being so sensitive." Like, no, you're being rude. You're being mean. Yeah. You're a bully, and that's what you're doing. And I just feel like somebody needs to say something. What is just one thing that you want somebody to take away? Who, if you could sit somebody down and who was against, people like you commuting. What would you want them to just take away, if anything, or understand?
I think just to understand that it's just, I can, give so many good things. It's just not fair that you would judge somebody thinking just off the bat that I'm here to do something bad. So why can't you say, oh, Laura's coming to help you. She's really good at making this beautiful salsa that you're going to love with your, eggs, or you're going to get, you never know. I mean, that's what makes, rich culture beautiful, is that so many people can
come together
and make and contribute so many different things. So I would just say that just don't judge people that are trying to. It's just that why are you immediately seeing the bad and not trying to focus on the good? Because all of these different people that are coming across actually can do good things, or actually can contribute good things. And it could be on different levels. It could be, cooking. It could be maybe I'm a really good listener. Maybe I'm a really good hard worker. You never know. It's just like, just give them, the opportunity of
just kindness.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say for people who don't support you being here? Like, even though you are legally?
I don't know. What can you say to those people? It's just like...
the only thing comes to my mind is, fuck you.
I mean, I would just hopefully get them educated enough. I would wish them well to get educated enough.
Peace be with you.
Yeah, to know that doesn't define a country. It actually makes it worse. If you're trying to make all of these people leave,
who were here first, actually,
and just like, why? They're contributing so many. That's what's making this country great.
And that's what. So I saw this thing. You probably saw it on social media too. People who are have, I don't even know what the word is, but superiority complex or
Mhm.
like their race or whatever. I saw this thing where like, okay, then you shouldn't go shop at Mexican stores. You shouldn't be eating at Mexican restaurants. Don't eat at Chinese places. You know what I'm saying? But have you seen that?
Yeah.
But also, I feel like that's true. You can't pick and choose what you want to take from a culture. You can't pick and choose when you want them in your country.
Yeah.
That's not acceptable. Especially since we're all here. We're all a melting pot. Every person in America, we come from a melting pot. Doesn't matter if you come from the East Coast or the West Coast. The West Coast, they had what was that island? Had Ellis Island, and here, we have Mexico, because California was Mexico at one point.
Yeah.
So, to me, what I say to those people, fuck you. Laura, she's kind.
No, but I mean, we also have a lot of Caucasians that moved there after COVID. So Chicha has a lot of...
And also, that's a good point, too. We talked about this when I wasn't
Mhm.
recording. But people here in America pick and choose when it's okay to go to Mexico, when it's okay. And that is also a superiority thing. Like, it's a power thing. And that's...
Because they figured out they could make, more of their money. A lot of them don't even live... Well, a lot of them live in, like, these really nice places. And they would probably pay the same as a small one-bedroom condo in Chula Vista. The only difference is they like it better.
Right.
Because they like the way the cleaning
they like
lady...
their community.
Yeah, they like the park. They like the small...
The fresh food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they just choose to be there. Because I know a couple of, like, one of the neighbors of my brother works at the embassy, the U.S. embassy. And she's like, I could live in San Diego easily. I make more than $200,000. And the only difference is I like it better here.
Right. Because of the culture.
Yeah, I like going to the mercadito, and I like walking to whatever, and if the neighbor has a party, and if I get invited, and if I go, she just feels like
a sense of community, which America in itself is lacking. We don't have a community, which is why we take...
She said, I'm already friends with all of her neighbors. Like, she was there in a family gathering. She said, you're my neighbor's sister, and I'm talking with you. And that would never happen to me. She used to live in, I think, northern San Diego. And she said, I never even knew my neighbors. So I just chose to be here. My daughter plays with, the upstairs neighbor, and I just like it better. Maybe we'll move back to the States at one point, but right now I'm loving it, she said.
So like you.
Yeah. I have my family. She doesn't have any family there, but I have my family down there. But she and her husband and small little kids, they're just there because they like it. So why is that bad?
Exactly. That's what I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why it's so bad.
Why is it bad that you can take advantage of all the richness and all of the different cultures?
Just like all the Americans do too. Just in a different way. They're doing the same thing, just a different way. It's chess, just different games. Well, thank you, Laura.
Again, we did this 2 times.
I know. So thank you extra.